West Ham 1, Aston Villa 1, down in the East End of London. 5 losses in a row is what Villa had gone into this game with against West Ham. And finally, we have ended that horrible streak. So Professor Unai Emery has managed to see Aston Villa have a home win against Manchester United after 27 years of hurt. He's finally got us to win in our third kit. And he has finally managed to end that horrible, bizarre run we seem to have against the claret and blue men of the East End of London. Well, 1-1. It's all right, isn't it? Really? I didn't think it was too bad. I think Villa first half, we should have been ahead, really. I think let's go from the start. First kind of 20 minutes, I think West Ham were just kind of not putting us under a lot of pressure, and we had the ball at the back. So it felt like we were just standing around, passing it between ourselves, kind of like that Simpsons meme where it's just Mexico versus Portugal, passing it back in a triangle to each other, and nothing happens. But eventually, we kind of managed to work our way through. It took a while because we didn't feel like we would get anywhere near the final third for the first 15, 20. And then finally, we worked the ball out to Moreno, who gets a bit further forward and cross into Ollie Watkins. Good header, good goal. 6 in 7 for Ollie Watkins. That is a fantastic return. His entire body of play is much better, much improved than it was. His hold-up play, when the ball comes into him now, I feel much more confident that he's going to hold on to it. He's going to take it past the player who might be coming in to take, a weaker touch off him, and then he'll lay it off, and we go from there. So his all-round play at Villa is really good now, and he must surely be on Gareth Southgate's radar for a recall to the England team, because yes, he's doing very well, and another goal for him today. But should he have scored another? Some lovely play again from Moreno starting. It came to Ramsey across. To be fair, you look at it and it's very close to the goal. It's difficult, though, because if he tries to let it go across him, he'll be unbalanced in a way that it's just difficult. You can't really get the connection on the ball, and then we're all saying, well, why has he not hit it? And I think the only option he really had was to hit it the way he did, and he unfortunately just went straight into Areola. Yes, he himself would say he should have scored it, but I can see why it didn't go in. But first off, I thought basically the battle was between Moreno and Bowen. Bowen was the only player consistently in the first half of West Ham that was causing Villa constant problems. And over 90 minutes, I would say that he was West Ham's key attacking threat. And Moreno, because he liked to get forward, there were times perhaps when he'd have to dash back and try and get back at Bowen. And in the one-on-one situation, I think Bowen maybe had him a couple of times, though Moreno also did well against him on others. But West Ham's goal came against the run of play. But again, it came from Bowen getting that ball down the right, sprinting into the space, got the corner, ball in, fantastic clearance off the line from Ollie Watkins, I think it was. Was that a penalty? No, I don't think it was. I think Paqueta did something that reminds me of what Harry Kane tends to do, where he'll come up to you and he'll stand there and he'll hold his ground. He'll wait for the defender to come in, and he just holds it 1 second, half a second, and down you go. And sometimes the referee buys it, and other times he doesn't. It's probably not enough for VAR to overturn it, annoyingly. But if the penalty had not been given, I don't think VAR would have told the referee to go look at it on the monitor, because there just wasn't really anything there. Was it clumsy from Bailey? Yes. I don't think Bailey should have gone into the back, gone grappling for it or whatever. I mean, God, he barely did anything, did he, to be fair to him? But he probably should have just been a bit cannier. Don't give the option to Paqueta to do what he did. Particularly when Paqueta's back is to goal. Come on, you're not going to win the ball, and you're not he's not going to do anything really other than maybe lay it off to someone. But I don't think it was a penalty, but it was given. And a super hit from Benrahma, who I thought hadn't really been in the game up to that point. I think the goal obviously gave him some confidence. And I think second half, there were a couple of moments where he looked much more threatening. But I still don't think he quite compared to Bowen. I thought Bowen was a much more dangerous player for West Ham. So it was annoying because after the goal, Villa's goal, it felt like Villa were really on top and creating, and they were just going to go on and get a second then. And just, to give away a goal from, I look at West Ham and I thought their key threat today was Bowen, but also a couple of corners. You thought, they've got, it's always the way with West Ham. They've got big players. Ball in Souček, one of their defenders, Zuma, whoever, Rice. They at some point they're going to win a header and they're going to create some chaos in the penalty box. They had 12 corners today. So we did well to, not concede from them really. So yeah, just kind of frustrating. They got the goal and they did. And ultimately, I thought Villa probably should have gone in at half-time ahead. Second half, again, I think West Ham fans would probably argue they should have taken a chance. I would say Villa should have taken one of their chances as well. So in that respect, you'd probably say, okay, a draw's maybe fair. I mean, if you look at the stats, 17 shots on target, 17 shots for West Ham, 12 for Villa, 6 on target for West Ham, 4 for Villa, 60% possession for Villa, 40 for West Ham. But those 12 corners that West Ham got to Villa's 2. But, could Villa have scored second half? Jon Duran had a chance at the end that, flicked on from Ezri Konsa. And Duran, he reacted. Could he have maybe placed it better? Yes. But, again, sometimes the ball just comes to you a bit quickly and you instinctively react. And after the fact, you probably wish, why didn't I just place it back there? But, in the moment, it's not, he's a young player. So, maybe he's not just quite, up to the pace yet, the Premier League. But I thought he made a good account of himself again. He's a real physical handful. And when his first goal comes for Villa, which it will, I'm looking forward to seeing what he goes on to do and the confidence that he builds from there. A couple of interesting, and also actually, it's worth mentioning that I think West Ham's main threat came when I think Rice versus Buendia was a good battle today, and I think Buendia got the better of him a lot of the time. Actually, I thought Buendia was really good today, but Rice, I didn't think really was able to impact the game in the way he has previously against Villa. But there were a couple of moments in the second half when he was able to find that space, and a couple of crossfield balls that he made were really, really excellent. A couple he made to Benrahma, one over to Bowen that I can recall. But yeah, I think we handled them quite well, really, and I think probably a draw is fair enough. Though I think Villa could have won it. But kind of look at some of the individual performances. I think that it was interesting that McGinn was put in the role of Boubacar Kamara. Did we miss Kamara today? Yeah, because I think he's a great player and I think he would have played well in there. And that McGinn could have been, played in a role that I think is more suited to him. But that said, I actually think McGinn played very well today, and his distribution was generally very good. He was in the right place at the right time. He was, physical. So I think he made a really good account of himself. And I think when Chambers came onto the pitch, one or two of his touches were loose. And so I think you can see why McGinn started ahead of Chambers today. Traore coming on for Leon Bailey. Interesting one. I thought Bailey had one of his Leon Bailey games. Infuriating. Very inconsistent. Didn't really offer anything attacking wise that I can remember off the top of my head. Whereas I think Traore coming on, I think Traore maybe was a bit more consistent than Bailey. One or two really good touches as he has, and you look at the two of them and you think, what was Steven Gerrard thinking really, sending Traore away? And then he's just another option, really, in a similar mould to Bailey. Yes, he's inconsistent, but I don't really think there's much of a difference in their level of quality. And I thought Traore did all right. He is what he is, and I wouldn't be surprised if this summer the Bailey Traore area, that tricky, pacey attacker, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a place where Villa may be going to spend a lot of money this summer. Not much more really to say. I think Jacob Ramsey did very well. I thought his link-up play on the right-hand side with Moreno, then later Luca Dean, and then maybe, I don't know, like a Watkins or a Douglas Luiz playing it into him. I thought there were a couple of occasions where Jacob Ramsey did very well, turning, retaining the ball, pushing forward. It was one of the quieter games. You have to, not one where you really would take notice of him, but one where I thought he made a really good account of himself as a good footballing link-up player. He's a very versatile player. He's very young. And I look forward to seeing how he progresses as time goes by under Unai Emery. I thought Tyrone Mings was really solid. Ezri Konsa as well. Two of them handled West Ham really well, I thought. On the ball, they were good as well. Douglas Luiz coming back, distributing the ball, distribution. He's really found his niche under Unai Emery as well. So I thought it was a good away performance. I think 1-1 is fair, though I think we very easily could have won that game, and really in the first half should have got another goal, and that would have asked more questions of West Ham, really, who then would have been forced to come at us. Do I think West Ham are going down? Well, they don't score a lot. It's a real quagmire down there. I really wouldn't want to bet on anyone who's going to go down now. I keep thinking Bournemouth, but they just keep getting these kind of random results out of nowhere. So at the moment, I really don't know. I don't know who's going down. I think they're all in danger down there at the moment. And keep an eye on Crystal Palace. They're sinking a bit at the moment, and they're not far away at all from the bottom three. So quagmire, it's like the championship, midway in the championship, really, when it's, one win can take you away, and then all of a sudden you're straight back in it again. So interesting. But as for Villa, Bournemouth next, Bournemouth at home. Again, you don't really know what to expect from Bournemouth, but you have to look at that and think, surely Villa go into that hoping for a win. We'll see how it goes. But fine, I think you can see Villa's limitations, squad limitations today, but also some of the strengths and some of the positives that have been made, and the positives and some of the improvements that have been made under Unai Emery. So up the Villa, please, if you like what I do, like and subscribe. More interviews to come. Lovely meeting Jim Dolan from Pride of Irons, the LGBTQ plus supporters group from West Ham, and plenty more of those sort of interviews to come. More guests for the midweek social as well. So please like and subscribe, spread the message, give us a 5-star ratings, whatever we can do to get us more out there, because we love doing this. We love chatting Villa, and we love meeting Villa fans as well. So up the Villa, up the Unai Emery, and onward to next week to Villa Park. Come on, the Villa.